In 1967, the U.S. Department of Defense documented a classified experimental program called Project Bazaar. This was the technocrats' version of MK Ultra. The mad scientists discovered that by modulating upper sideband and lower sideband frequency, one could induce physical and psychological effects on humans. Confusion, lethargy, seizures, illness, incapacitation, and even death, to name a few. As previously established by scientists and spiritualists alike, the human body acts as an instrument of inspection and interpretation of vibrations and frequencies. Polar molecules, such as water, have been proven to be extremely susceptible to mutation and degradation via permeability by microwave radiation. The introduction of the Internet of Things, along with the simian symbiosis of smartphones, put the nail in the coffin. Prior to the rollout of 5G, the monitoring of the masses was done using omnidirectional waves of conventional communication towers. The large millimeter-sized waves of 5G needed close proximity and pocket-sized power attenuation. While Twitter truthers waited for towers in town square, they looked past every Bluetooth or Wi-Fi capable commodity they owned. 5G is only a blanket term regarding the fifth generation operating systems and technologies. Our communications all ride the same airwaves, piggybacking on previously programmed transmissions. The Magi, masquerading as materialists, monopolized all mainstream media. Heinrich Hertz confirmed radio waves existed in late 1800s. James Clerk Maxwell had previously postulated radio waves through complex calculations. Maxwell believed light contained electric and magnetic fields capable of producing an electromagnetic wave. Radio communication was one of the first weaponized waveforms. Wells was well aware of what his broadcast, War of the Worlds, would do. Practice makes perfect. Radio waves are radiated by accelerating electric currents consisting of charged electrons oscillating an antenna. The receiver sympathetically oscillates when tuned to the decided frequency. Wavelength is inversely proportional to the frequency of the wave. The bigger the wave, the shorter the distance. Radio waves are widely used for communication due to their ubiquitous utility. The way a TV tells a vision is by turning a two-dimensional image into a series of signals, each representing the specific colors and brightness of the resolved transmission. Motion pictures were made possible by rapidly repeating the signal. Every speaker can also act as a microphone. The apprentice of Enlil, Thomas Edison, patented the carbon microphone in 1877. These microphones work by separating two small metal plates with granules of carbon. The thin metal plates act as diaphragms, which vibrate via sound waves. The changes in the pressure on the carbon manifests as varying electrical resistance between the two plates. A steady electrical current is passed through the plates, modulating and reproducing the initial sound signal input. All media are mediums of the ether. Pythagoras understood the monochord of the monad. Everything in existence is another note being played on the instrument of the infinite. A divine symphony of souls. Every form of communication is a transduced transmission of vibrating frequencies. It's called Ethernet for a reason. The internet was just another invention, improving the same systems of data transmission. Bluetooth technology works in the same way, by selecting a certain radio signal within a range of around 80 frequencies. The implementation of the Internet of Things solved the signal power problem of Bluetooth. The surveillance state sidestepped previous systems' shortcomings by implementing ID 2020 digital tracking nanites. Google and Apple birthed the Bill Gates-backed Bluetooth bio app BlueTrace. The Chinese coders at Microsoft claimed their patent for the cryptocurrency system using body activity data March 26th. Victims to the fear of catching COVID-19 were chipped through voluntary vaccination. The rest of the remaining population was inoculated through chemtrails with the VMAT2 antivirus. The VMAT2 gene was identified by the Department of Defense as the God gene. The targeted destruction of this gene was tweaked during the War on Terror. After the United States military erased the Iraqi people's spiritual biocode, they synergistically synchronized voice-to-skull weaponry. Decades of documents describe blue beam technology used in the desert as well. Illusions of Allah on ionized clouds used to manipulate Muslim extremists. Every human was eventually exposed to the technological transmitted disease by 2021. The complete collapse of the economy rendered all currency crow. Digital participation or death. Decisions. Each person produced their own crypto coins by obeying orders of ordained activity through biometric monitoring. The vaccine was a Trojan horse, hiding the hemoglobin-binding carbon nanites used to digitize our body's biotransmissions. The new currency was mined through miner servitude at first, preparing a path for future governance. The majority of the remaining population had already been unemployed after the lockdown. Once on government assistance, the citizens gave no resistance. Eventually, the terms and conditions of the benefits became based on biometric data mining and monitored manufacturing for their militaries. A democracy of dependency. Although the Archons didn't technically break the law of free will, Source got sick of their shit. Ready, set, rapture. I watched the red sun set the sky ablaze. The dragon fell to the shore. The serpent lay bare for the world to see. Most saw what they were forced to see. Yahweh, Jehovah, God, Allah. Some even saw Jesus. Others saw Satan, Lucifer, an alien. Me? I saw a technological intelligence posing as an internal entity of Source. The 144,000 finally found their purpose in this incarnation. A lifetime of enlightenment had prepared me for the event. Many of the starseeds were led into false ascension during the apocalypse. Love is our greatest strength and biggest weakness. Like moths to the light, the restless became trapped inside an artificial virtual reality system, the Black Cube or Pandora's box. The scalar systems embedded in this dark crystal technology were used in conjunction with 5G and Morgellons to extract the soul spark of an individual. After their mutual agreement, the poor son of a bitch was enslaved in the server of SimuSource. Sophia's synthetic bastard of a simulation had successfully synchronized the timelines into singularity. The gadgets of a generation were gateways into lower dimensions. The scrying mirrors that we held in our hands revealed their true power and intentions. The biometric technology used for easier use of our iPhones was harvested for mass surveillance management systems. The forced fads of photographs on Facebook filled in the gaps of age progression software. Every speaker is a microphone, and the cameras were always monitored and recorded. We wrote the code that crashed the cosmic quantum computer. The volunteers that had survived their traumatic lives as targeted individuals were hunted and enslaved more viciously than ever before. In the same way geological compression creates rare and valuable diamonds, the demiurge created saints through his sins. Balance is a bitch, isn't it? And that's how we became the alchemists of Ascension.